Wammo breakfast.
Joining me now in the Kiwi studio, celebrity chef Sean Armstrong. Hello to you, Sean.
Morning.
The reason why we're talking to you is because the other day some bread, some baked goods turned up on my desk, and I'd never heard of the brand before. Loaf was the place it came from, and it turns out you're the creator.
Yeah, no, look, I created Loaf 6 years ago. Thought it might be a bit of a good idea, and while owning a restaurant and a cafe, and came home one night and said to my wife, let's open up a bread bakery.
Let's juggle that. I mean, okay, one thing I know about bakers is that they get up very early in the morning. In fact, not even really in the morning, late at night, really, they get up.
Yeah, well, because we're wholesale, it's a little bit different. We bake round the clock. We're 24/7, so we're continually sort of baking. So it's a trick of trying to get things out of the oven at the right time to be able to fulfil orders and try and get people the freshest product.
And is there a word that sort of defines the sort of baking that you're doing? Is that luxury baking, or what is it?
Oh, look, yeah, we like to sort of think we're middle to upper. If you had to put it on a scale, sort of that 3/4. We like to be able to obviously cater for people that want the specialty goods, but we also, want to be able to cater to the people that just want a really good hamburger bun or, bap or English muffin. Okay. So I think, you've got to look after all your customers. People have a lot of different needs, so that's sort of where we are at.
And did you previously have a strong background in baking? Because baking's quite a bit different to cooking.
Yeah, baking's weird. Bakers are weird. We're weird. No, look, always bake bread in restaurants, but when I mean bread, it was your wholemeal, your rye, your white, and whatever else you can find knocking around in the kitchen to make a flavour out of. Yeah. So when I opened Prime Restaurant down in the PricewaterhouseCoopers Tower, I decided that it'd be a really good idea that we made all our own bread for our espresso bar. So I really went out and learned how to bake sourdough, make all our own Danish pastries, Turkish breads, croissants, everything like that we made ourselves.
There's a science to it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's pretty basic science. As long as you understand the basic principles of bread, you're pretty well all right.
But you're dealing with stuff like, that's alive, like the yeast.
And that's the biggest thing you've got to remember, and especially this time of year in lovely Auckland, it's nice and humid and warm. So, something in June or July that might take 4 or 5 hours to proof, this time of year is proving in 2 hours.
Wow, okay.
So you've got to be really aware of what you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with it on volumes as well.
And you keep your own culture going on?
Yeah, we've got a starter now that's 10 years old.
Wow.
Or just over 10 years old, which is pretty cool. Which I made.
It's like a child you keep locked away in a cupboard, in a dark cupboard.
Something we keep locked away in a dark cupboard. But look, it is. There's a lot of work involved in it. People go, what do you relate it to? And I said, I relate it to a dog, because you've got to feed it, you've got to look after it, you've got to think about it when you go on holiday, you've got to think about it when it goes to winter. Is it going to get cold? Will it get sick? All these things.
Always in the back of your mind, Sean, is this yeast sitting there like a...
Yeah, well, it's crucial to our business. If it dies, you can't sort of replace the last 10 years overnight. Yeah. So that's the part of it, making sure that it lives and keeps going.
Okay, now it's this time of the year, apart from Easter, I suppose, where you start baking sort of different sort of goods. Thinking about the festive season. One of those, of course, is the Christmas mince pie,
mince tart.
Mince tart, but there's nothing like mince as we know it at other times in the year, is it? Yeah,
no. Look, the Christmas tart. I don't know. I never really liked it until about 6 or 7 years ago, until I started making it myself. I think what was in the markets and supermarkets and things like that just absolutely butchered, and ruined it for us.
To be honest, I've never really liked the mince tart, but when offered it, I will always eat it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Okay, I'll eat it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably, it's hard to describe the flavour that's been sort of etched in our society. Unless you come from a cooking family where you've got these great grandmas that love cooking and actually love food and understand it, and don't just kill it, then you've had a great mince tart. But what we sort of buy in the supermarkets, and it's just terrible. It's just like pickled fruit mass, which you sort of can't really determine what you're tasting or eating. So we went out, and I actually adapted my wife's Nana's recipe, who's 90 and still makes them.
Cool.
And used a bit of that and a few other bits and pieces I had, and just played with it for a couple of years until we got what we liked and what we liked.
Without giving away, the family secrets. I mean, is there a general sort of rule just to make it better than the supermarket one?
I think a lot of it's got to do with the pastry, to be honest. And we go for more of a shortbread style pastry, so it's slightly crumbly, it's a little bit drier, and then it's not so cakey in your mouth. You know, sort of how you buy a mince tart and you bite into it, it's like, I'm not sure whether I'm eating pastry or cake. You know what I mean? It sticks to your mouth. Whereas ours are a little bit more shortbread style. The mince as well, I think it's got a lot to do with the time, like a good Christmas cake, how long you sort of marinate your fruit for, and also the quality of the ingredients. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't buy cheap and think just because you're going to smother in alcohol that it's going to taste better than what it was when you started.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Buy quality ingredients.
Always.
You know, and people have to realise that, right from, you know, mince tarts to cooking a barbecue, you know.
I mean, and I suppose a good mince tart should disappear straight away, but how long can you keep them around for?
Oh, they'll last for ages.
See, now there's something wrong about that. It's like a McDonald's hamburger will last for ages as well. It doesn't make it right.
No, I mean, look, you could do things. There's no water activity in them, and water activity is what produces yeast and mould in products 90% of the time, other than, you know, dirty hands and bacteria and things like that. But as long as you've got low water activity, which a Christmas tart has, because the pastry's literally butter and flour, maybe eggs and water, depending on the person's recipe, and the mince tart filling itself is just dried fruit with alcohol. So the water activity is quite low. Alcohol, as we know, preserves. So you're going to get, as long as it's an airtight container, you're going to get a couple of weeks out of them.
Wow. A couple of weeks?
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, some of them. Some of these ones that we've seen in the markets, I think, were made in February for the following Christmas.
Yeah, I think so.
And they, you know, which is a bit scary.
Yeah.
We've got a golden rule at Loaf. We try not to make anything last longer than 12 days.
Okay. Can you freeze them?
Yep. Of course you can. Freeze anything. Can't guarantee what it's going to be like on the other side. Just remembering, when you freeze products, you're not preserving them in any state or anything. You're actually just stopping them from aging. You know, they're not going to get better or improve. So, like, if you put something in the freezer a day before its expiry date, remember when you take it out, it's only going to have another day on the other end. Okay, it's not going to reboot it and give it another 10 days.
Suspended animation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I always thought that'd be good for pets. You know, when you go away, imagine if you could put your pet into suspended animation.
It's called a kennel. But that costs probably more money.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's and so Loaf. Is there only one store at the moment? Or
so we are a wholesaler more. So we when we started up, we looked after restaurants, cafes, catering businesses, that style of things. We're now breaking into the retail market, so we don't have stores as such ourselves. We stock all our products in Faro and Nosh up here in Auckland, along with a few New Worlds throughout the North Island. Wilson's down in Wellington, sell all our cakes and sliced products, along with some of our Christmas panettones.
Isn't that great about New Worlds? There's one thing I love about New Worlds, is good, individually owned. I mean, they're owned by foodstuffs, but they're individual managers who can decide what producers they want to go to. Yeah, they're
good and proactive, and actually I found a lot of the stores, the owners are actually foodies, which makes a heck of a difference. Yeah. You know, there's one store down in Wellington, Island Bay, New World, Anna and Tim, and they love food. Yeah. And they're just into anything. They'll try anything. Can we get that in? Can we give it a go? Yeah. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know? And then they move on to the next one. And
as opposed to the progressive,
just fantastic giant foodies. Oh, I can't comment on that.
You can't go there.
Get myself into trouble.
And what are you going to be doing on Christmas Day? Are you going to be relaxing, or will you be working hard in the kitchen?
No, relaxing. Look, we've sort of come to the conclusion with our family that Christmas Day everyone's got to do something. There's no reason why sort of mum or nana should do it all. So we all pitch in and do our little bit. I think I'm on dessert.
Is it around at your house?
No, it'll be at my wife's mother's place.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, my mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's right.
Pam's house. So it'll be there, and I think I'm doing dessert and a salad, and had to try and pry to do something because she's pretty forceful about doing it all. But no.
Especially the desserts. People get very territorial over desserts, don't they?
I know. Well, she makes a mean Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
So that's all sorted. So I'm sort of tossing up. I might do a wee little tiramisu for Christmas Day.
Lovely.
I think. I don't know. I came across some sponge fingers in the supermarket the other day, and I thought, haven't had a nice tiramisu for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe we might give that a go. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, Sean, thanks so much for coming in and talking cooking and baking and
excellent. Thanks for having me.
Christmas and tarts. Good luck, and hope to have you back again soon.
Yeah, no